This starts my scene library number 10, in which we're required to create something using materiality, um, and encase it in something. And so this is my artistic representation of the crack. And so I'm thinking about thoughts that came from the article, or podcast entitled Concrete, that was on like materiality. And so I was thinking about this concept of crack. And when I was walking Union Square, I had found a recycled plastic, like used bag, something that you could use again. It was thinner in material than you would like a canvas bag, but it's definitely reusable. And it even stated on the bag, found it in the trash, or around the trash. And it had a small tear in it, and so I'm assuming that is one of the reasons why this was thrown away or just kind of left to the side of the trash can. But I wanted to work with it, and so I took it back. And so something I was trying to answer with this scene library is thinking about, for Union Square, since I have considered it and characterize it as a place of consumerism, or a place that enables consumerism, this idea that people are kind of transient in this area, and that it should be, or something that I remember as was a place for leisure, or at least like window shopping, this idea of leisure that I'm like slowly consuming rather than this fast-paced consumerism that we now see in 2023. And so I wanted to think about what implications arise when you throw a reusable bag away, right? And I have quotations on reusable because some people may not have considered this reusable. And so I think that like just the idea of it being found by the trash when it's supposed to be something that you reuse, recycle, reduce, etc., to me feels like a walking contradiction. And then like this represents, I think, for me, leisure in a way. And so inside, you first see, this is the part of the plastic bag or reusable bag that was found by the trash. And so one of the things that I think is implicated or implied when you throw a reusable bag away is that you're throwing your money away, right? Regardless of the fact that it's reusable material and it's been made to be reused, to save the environment, the ecosystem, etc., like you're throwing it away, so therefore you are throwing your own money away because these do cost. And especially in New York City, even plastic bags or paper bags add up. And so I wanted to represent like the cost of a bag through the coins, but also the cost, like the dichotomies of like you throwing it away. It's so ironic because you're also throwing your money away. And I'm also throwing my money away by now having it kind of splayed out or glued to this artistic piece, which is also, again, a walking contradiction. And so I think I titled this piece, or if I had to title this piece, I would title it Flower Penny, or Penny Flower, thinking about the play off penny candy and this idea that like things used to cost really little and we used to care about the things that we bought. And penny candy was something that I grew up on. My nana would produce it, or like give us pennies to go buy from the corner store all the time. And yes, I know I'm not that old. However, penny candy still exists in my small like neighborhood. I grew up in Detroit. Corner stores were around all the time. You would go in there and like the people knew you. They knew your name. They knew my nana's name. I could go there at like age 6 and they'd know who I was and what she was looking for. And so I wanted to also think about this play on like penny candy, penny flowers, and that like now you don't get that anymore. I don't think anyone knows me around in my neighborhood. Maybe the grocery store clerk probably could pinpoint me in a mug shop, right? Because I've been there so many times, but it's not like I've made a connection there. And so I think that also happens with Union Square because it is so fast paced, and this transient nature. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And I think that like when you throw a bag away, this is like no room for it to grow. Like it's now plastic, right? And I think that's why like it is shipped off and it's not recycled. Like it's plastic or uses plastic. And so I wanted to also incorporate this plasticity of flowers and like Union Square being a park, but really it's not a park. Like went just last week and it was dead. Like there were no the grass wasn't really growing. People were kind of chilling out, but it's more concrete than actual park, right? And so I was playing on words with this poem that I created, thinking about these tensions. And so it says panic, personal injury, with the woes, separateness, uselessness, estrangement, subverted, without us, great space, stories that need to be told, trust my voice. And I think that I was playing on this quote, thinking about the assemblages that emerge when something is thrown away or when things are assembled together. And so like maybe I have made something happen with this project. I'm not really sure right now, but I definitely have thoughts that are kind of continuing even past this class, past this project, past my observations at Union Square. So I'm wondering, like, now that I've kind of felt like worked through my feelings about Union Square and my ideas about Union Square, and have now seen Union Square in a different light, like what can I make happen with these things working together? And then the back kind of summarizes, or it's just something that reiterates some of the thoughts that I said previously about the bag being thrown away and like this idea of reusing. So yeah, that's it.